In 3.5 years, I built a business worth $150 million. And everyone asked me, how exactly did I got my first customers? Because this is a question that I receive a lot, I've decided to start with an example of one of the channels I used to get early adopters, beta users on lemlist. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can use any Facebook groups to do exactly the same as I did. The first step, whenever you wanna find beta customers or potential users or potential customers, is to understand who your audience is. With lemlist, back in 2018, when I got started, the ideal customer profile was anyone doing email outreach, meaning anyone who's launching sales prospecting campaign to acquire customers. So I tried to identify cold email groups, and the one that was really well known at the time was called Charm Offensive from my friend John Buchan in the UK. So I was really spending a lot of time in this group, and I knew quite a few people there. And I decided, you know what, I want to get beta testers. So what's the best way that finding a group with people who are part of my ICP, meaning ideal customer profile, and ask them if they want to join the beta. But how exactly do you do that? Let's go back to that post that I found back. I'm feeling a bit emotional here. January 16, 2018, the very first 2 weeks of lemlist creation. We didn't have a product at the time, by the way. So I just wanted to see if there were actual traction for it. So actual people interested in the product. And what I wrote was, hey guys, I was talking to John. So John is the owner of the group. And he said, this is fucking awesome and you need to post it in the group. So here I am. Well, to be honest, I can't start my first post here with a lie. I asked John if I could post it and he said it was cool. Anyway, we built a software that allows you to generate personalized images automatically and automate your sales email campaigns. I've put some of the answers I've received using this method. If you want to try it, just comment beta and I'll send you a DM with the link. On this post, what I tried to do was, the first thing is contact the owner. You don't want to go on a group that you don't own and start posting shit because you'll be considered as a spammer. So the first step you need to do is actually build relationship with the owner of the group. Once you've done that, simply ask. Whenever you own a group, you have lots of people trying to posting shit and selling shit, but if you have built a relationship with the owner and what you're asking for is legit, he would probably say yes for you to post, which happened to me. And at the time, I was literally no one. So obviously, back in the days, I hadn't done anything. I didn't have an audience. I had my agency back in the day, but no one kind of knew me. So it was really all about asking John if I could post. First step. Second step was to create an engaging post. That's why I used the framework comment and get. It's a very famous framework where in the end, the call to action of your post is for people to comment so they can get something in return. In that case, I asked them to comment a very specific word, beta, and in exchange, they will get access to the software. But you might be wondering, okay, in a world where you have thousands of other tools, why exactly would be people willing to join a beta of a product they haven't seen and that is probably shit? It's an excellent question. And that's why in the post, I've used 2 tricks. The first step was hooking people with humor and also adding John into the loop. Knowing that John is obviously the owner of the group and that everyone knew him, it kind of built this report and association phenomenon in psychology, which means that when you associate yourself with the leader of a group, people tend to perceive you as someone much more credible than if you know no one and no one knows you. That's why I decided from the very beginning of the post to build credibility by leveraging this psychological phenomenon of association with the leader of the group. I see a lot of people, just posting and asking for something or for feedback. In the end, the posts that perform the best are the one where the value proposition is clear. And what I mean with value proposition is what's in it for them. And the best way to do that was to show one of the screenshots I've received using the sales prospecting method that I was selling. I've put some of the answers I've received using this method. And as you can see the screenshot, when guys send emails and they're like, hey, check out my web design company, and you check them out and their website sucks, you're like, oh, no thanks. So when you get a cold email from someone who claims to have built the software with one of the point being, it helps you send better cold emails and the email absolutely kills it, then you definitely have their interest. As you can see, this is a reply I received from one of the sales prospecting campaigns that I've shared. And the idea was to allow people to picture themselves receiving this type of answers while doing sales prospecting. So here on the post with just one screenshot, I was allowing people to picture a better future for their sales prospecting and hence their company. And the last part of the post is all about the call to action. The call to action is super clear. It's just comment something and you'll get something else in return. And as you can see here, you have 2 294 comments on that post, which is huge. It was January 16th, 2018, and 3.5 years later, my company was worth $150 million. It all started in a Facebook group bringing value. There are thousands of Facebook groups out there, so I'd be curious to know, like, have you ever tried this method for your own business?